basically the දෙයිය දෙනවා පූසාරි දෙන්න. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. One example is government has given a good security guards company. There are 30-35 people working every day, but there are 14 gates for the hospital, and so they can't control. We have around 70 units, so we then in that case we need 100 guards. So whenever we raise this issue to the director, he never listens. So there are theft, there are harassments to the doctors. I saw one day one person was just almost assaulting a female house officer. So even there are theft, where director knows the thief and he calls them, talks to him and take the things back to the person, and then the chapter closed. And there are incidents where drunken health service assistants were transported home, while on duty they were drunken and transported home by ambulance, by the director. We have evidence. There are 14 business places inside the hospital. I don't think that no way hospital in Sri Lanka will have 14 business places. No one has proper tender. Just do the audit and find it out. Okay? He may kill me because he has such kind of connections. He has third world connections. I am telling with responsibility. I can prove this for Minister, Honorable Minister. Very sorry for telling this in this stage. But we don't need 14 business places inside there. One clinic book is 100 rupees. That a particular person comes from Anuradhapura or Trincomalee, he has to waste 30 minutes to find that clinic book, paying 100 rupees, and then has to come to me for the clinic. One day I saw a patient with a hand injury, old man. He said, "Sir, Mama Iyave," this is a single person from Anuradhapura. Iyave, Iyave, Mama Dhanna Mate clinic එක කවදාද කියලා he was not informed. So he then I ඊලාවද කියලා නෑ. කොහෙද හිටියේ? bus stand එකේ නිදාගෙන. So those type of poor patients are coming. Okay? When there are big BAPs and diaspora people comes, director serves in a different spoon, and when our poor people comes, the serving is with a different spoon. And other thing is, I finish this with the last thing. So I want whatever the resources given by the government and whatever the resources allocated by the ministry should be fairly shared to the poor people, because the poor only comes here. The rich man won't come here. He will go and take his treatment, quality treatment outside. And other thing, one thing to correct, NHSL has 1086 medical officers, 156 consultants. So 1:6.9 ratio, almost 7. So that except the postgraduate trainees. So there are SRs and registrars more than this. Our hospital has 286 and 144 consultants. So most of them are young consultants. So ratio is around 1 to 1.9. So that is in our country, not in India. I am telling. The national hospital has 1:7 and our hospital has 1:2. So all these governments, previous governments, did a bad transferring system where one place is shared more and one place is without medical officer. So we need some redistribution, that's all. So please, Minister, Honorable Minister, correct these things with time. And I am sorry if I have told you, or if I have talked in some insulting way, or if I have brought something very ugly. Sorry.
Naninda Yasi sir, to give this opportunity. I am Dr. P. Sri Krishna, consultant orthopedic surgeon, senior surgeon, working since 2014. I have attended all these official meetings, several meetings. All these meetings, the same presentation is going on. I have evidence. Every time we are reiterated about the CADA issue, and every time the answer is you fulfill the existing vacancy, but it cannot be met. Every time they are telling like that. But in fact, I know the the existing vacancy issue is not merely not number, it is a maldistribution. Whenever the designated MOs are coming, sometimes they were diverted to other areas. Sometimes they are over-advertised to the OPD positions and less workload action, skipping the critical areas like anesthesia department, like emergency department or other surgical departments. They skipped and only given priority to some other non-critical areas. So the main issue I felt is maldistribution or not given attention to the critical areas. That is the issue I observed first. Other thing is the non-transparent administration. So whenever we go and raise a concern, it is overlooked and it is seen as a threat to the administration. So for example, the fire problem, I myself and Dr. Jaffna, retired general surgeon, expressed this concern when they blocked the fire exits of JICA building in 2017. But it overlooked and again the buildings, obstructions are built. After the fire of the drugstores come, when the people come and see, when the emergency team come, there is no place to park the fire brigade things to douse the fire. Because everywhere the blocks are there, everywhere there are fancy things are there, everywhere the flower pots and all these things are there. But essential thing cannot be achieved. I am serving as a president of Northern Chapter College of Surgeons. Here, I observe a lot of maldistribution and non-transferable administration issues. Several issues are raised by concerned consultants during the meeting. The last management committee meeting, we raised not only consultants, medical officers, nursing heads, radiographers, and everybody insisted one thing, that is the lack of cadres. And finally, they told, like Dr. Adikan mentioned, we have to get the approval. So that is a main concern here. No point in building or no point in giving a fancy. I appreciate the national people's government to sending several times the minister and the important officials here. I have seen so many times here rather than previous governments to cater our concern. And the main gap between the northern region and the southern region I observed from 5 decades of my life in Jaffna is they are not hearing our voice, actual voice. They only hear the people who are going there. They only tell the stories of good face, good powdered, scented face, not the negative face. But I visited several times to the Ministry of Health. Even Dr. Anil Singh, I worked under him in accident service in National Hospital. Well, several times I went and met with regard to the problems of the patients. He was concerned and rectified a lot of things. Even this neuromonitor and the swine table, I visited Health Minister, Dr. Rajendra Senarda. He immediately signed and gave. And went to the Health Secretary, he immediately forwarded. And then over the biomedical engineer, they get the concern. And I to explain, I am traveling all the way from Jaffna to do this work, and they immediately did everything. And ultimately I received the things. So the health ministry officials are more concerned about our thing. The problem is the positive thing only is going. And negative things or the concerned things are not going. The medical officer card, always, this is all over the 10 years, that is 44 is appearing. For example, in the orthopedic card, they advertise annual list about 8 annual list medical officers. Nobody, only 2 people are replaced. Without replacement, or everybody. Recently, they released almost a lot of anesthesia medical officers without single replacement. They reduced 25% of operating time for all the surgeons. And all of a sudden, over the night, suddenly they reduced. So we gave the dates and things to plan the surgeries for far beyond sometimes 6 months, 1 year. So I have one patient came from Kurunagala to scoliosis correction. We gave 6 months before during a school holidays or something. She came last clinic and asked about her surgery. We told her, sorry, our full day list is cut down to half day list. We are unable to conduct the surgery because it takes about 3-4 hours of surgical time. So like there are several things. Last but not least, this call is booked for a College of Surgeons event today. All of a sudden, yesterday evening called and told, sorry, I think the minister not aware about these things. And we find out because a lot of people, lot of eminent experts in the pediatric surgical specialty came all the way from down south to conduct the workshop. Suddenly it was changed to another place, and over the night we go run here and there and find out a place to conduct the workshop. It's a very important workshop. So this is the problem here. Even I may have some retaliation for this, expressing my views. But I can't live because I am the part and parcel of Jaffna. Some of the previous director, Dr. Bhavanandaraja knows, and our DA knows about me. So I'm not like a clean slide of, I always expect a 50%. So there are a lot of head of the nursing heads are there. They always come and tell me, we can't express our views in the meetings. Sometimes even I have the experience when I go and complain, and I complained to the DG also once. They never concern about our concerns. I'm not going to put anybody down. I always, when I am going to the public, I always safeguard my colleagues and my co-workers. The problem is this. There are so many issues are there. At the moment, I couldn't recall everything. This is some examples I would like to tell. Sorry for hurting anybody, but we have to tell what we are facing. That's a reality, and that is a main reconciliation. If we build this hospital and serve the people of Jaffna or the northern region well, the reconciliation will come automatically. That's my belief. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And I want to speak, even you have restricted time, I know very tight time, because this is the only place I can raise my voice. I want to speak 3 things here, just 3 or 5 minutes. One is flow patients. Certain things in our country we can do at this stage. Certain things we can do at this time. Because we are in a critical situation, but we have to allocate our resources genuinely and do it. In our hospital, we have 1,500 beds nearly. But our bed occupancy, even though they told 75%, usually 60 to 70. The picture showed to the Honorable Minister, medical ward casualty days, 30 to 50 patients are on the floor. But there are nearly 300-400 beds are available. There are no patients. And because of the ministry circular, we made a bed committee meeting by the director just 6 months or 5 months back. After that, there is no bed committee management meeting. I am a member. My every casualty day, 30 or 50 patients on the floor, but in the hospital, 300-400 empty beds. This is whose fault? This should be correct. This is one. Second one, they were qualified nursing sisters. I think the Deputy Director General came 1 year back to this hospital. That time I told this hospital has 14 qualified nursing sisters. DGHS Vavuniya has 25. Why is that? Then because of the after war, here the people and the other people are living in a different stage. We are not realizing what is happening in the south. And we are thinking something good memories and living in a difficult world. So we are 14 qualified nursing sisters. I think probably Sir Dr. Sriharan came that time. Then I told Sir, we have, this is the number. Then he told, how is this? Then he told, your vacancy is around 30 or something. It's around 30. Then after that, we encouraged nursing staff. They took the nursing exam. They went through 14. But only went for training 8. Because we didn't show the training vacancy for them. But later on I heard that remaining nursing staff went to one of the parliamentary MB, and I probably met the minister, they told. But we have a vacancy nearly 30 and we have 14. Even after 14, 3 of us are going to retire within 1 or 2 years. 14 people from here ready to go for the training, but we send 8. Then why we are spending so many, one hour, Dr. Adityan, so many several things. I felt sleepy. Because we can do certain things with ourselves. We are not doing that. Then this volunteer staffs. Fortunately, last time minister came, I told, we are keeping volunteer staff. We don't need to keep these volunteer staffs. I am not telling they are volunteer staff, they are unpaid workers. That is unethical. Fortunately, due to this current crisis, from that crisis onwards, there is no volunteer staff in the hospital. Please make sure no volunteer staff for this hospital. For me, our acute crisis is about 50 to 40 HSA attendant. If we get at least 50 or 40 within next 6 months, basic issue is over. Then after next year, you can give another 15. Because last 5 or 6 years, we didn't recruit any HSAs or attendants. Whose fault is that? We didn't do that. So the crisis is coming again and again. So these are the three issues I want to tell. Last issue I told the rehabilitation unit. Because they told they want a rehabilitation unit. We had a 3-story building funded by Singapore government and Middle East government and good equipment. One of the batchmates came from Australia. She saw that auditorium, this equipment, and she told Bahu, this type of equipment even I didn't have in Australia. But what is happening in the 3-story building? For down place is a rehabilitation rheumatology clinic and the physiotherapy department. 2nd floor my medical ward and neurology clinic. 3rd floor bone marrow transplantation. Earlier that was called sports medicine. But donation was given for rehabilitation. And they gave training, nearly 10 or 20 people in Singapore, 2 weeks training, free training. They went, our people went. And every 3 years, they took again 10 people training. They came. When they came, what we did? Anyway, I don't know, we can't tell everything open or some legal action come again, so I don't know. But anyway, probably minister is there, that's why I am telling. So when they came, we put the curtain, we put some stroke patient and we gave the physiotherapy. And we are telling we are giving rehabilitation. So main issues we have to do everything transparency, do it genuinely. Talk to all the consultants, respect all consultants equally. Don't let the consultants. I work most of the time not in the north. Most of the time I work in the south. I know how they are working. During 2002, this is my last exam. I think in the Vadula, I worked, Dr. Anil sir, that time is the MS. Then I was in Gambaha 2002. That is during LDT period. I went every Sunday walk round, but usually consultants are not coming. That is my casualty day. And there is no HSA. Then I asked, why HSAs are not here? They told those 2 HSAs are Christians. Then I immediately told, Gamba is majority Buddhist. So next Sunday, allow 2 Buddhists to this HSA. There is no issue. Next Sunday I went, there are 2 HSAs are there. Because we are working for the patient. That's why I told to that picture. We all are talking here, sitting and talking for these poor patients. Not for our personal names. That should be done. We don't need to worry because we are worked everywhere, we work overseas. So there is nothing we are personally going to lose. But I don't want to live in an environment which is we can easily correct, but we are not doing. Thank you, sir, for your time.
The nurses are there, development officers are there, health services are there.
The medical officers themselves have a lot of issues, and you have seen the data that only few medical officers in number. The other medical officers were the less numbers compared to the number of consultants. They actually wanted to come here and share their thoughts regard to some illegal transfers, but they couldn't come here because they were not purposefully invited. In all categories of staffs are here, why these medical officers cannot be invited here? So the ISL3 staff, they were not given invitation, they were not sent email. Another thing, the secretary is there. Implementation of medical officers transfers in this hospital was implemented trade union based. You know, there was a trade union election, and some were labeled pro-government and some were labeled anti-government. And the previous committee, so I served as a vice president of the national GMO in the past, and as a branch union president here for many years. And all the trade union members of the previous committee has been immediately transferred, knowing that there will be deficient for the anesthesia, and then the anesthesia list has been dropped 20 to 30%. And the medical officers who are on 2022 transfer, now it is 2026, are still being kept here even after being told by the consultant to release. And these should be rectified, they should be fair. The transfer order should be fair and in an order, and it should not be based on personal favoration. I think the secretary is here. I am sure the transfer order cannot be violated without the approval of the health secretary. That these transfer people are kept here without your approval, to my knowledge. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon to all of you, Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources, and Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, Additional Secretaries, and Health Secretary of the Northern Province, and Honorable Member of Parliament, and all the officials of Health Ministry of Northern Province, and all the officials of Health Ministry, and the Director, consultants, medical officers, matron and nursing staff, and all other staff and administrative staff of the teaching hospital Jaffna. I'm very happy to visit your hospital. That is my second visit during this last year. Within 1 year, I visited here last July, and I had a brief discussion with you. First of all, I would like to convey my honor and gratitude to all the staff, the service you are rendering to the people, not only in Jaffna, not only the northern province, but to the people of whole island. Especially, I know that last Vesak Day, we had cataract Dansala, and you have cleared the waiting list also. I know some of the patients from Hambantota, they have come here to get the surgery done from your hospital. And when I see the statistics of catheterization, I can recognize patients from everywhere. So thank you very much for your service, and actually I really appreciate the service you are giving to the people with so many hardships. And I can understand your grievances. I can understand the problems you raised. Anyway, as the Secretary said, we are in the process, actually, we are in the end steps, last steps of cadre revision. Almost 95 to 96% of the process completed. We have to receive another 4 hospitals to revision, and after that we plan to have final discussion with the Management Services Department of Finance Ministry, and then we can approve the cadre for next 3 years. In meantime, you know that we are recruiting the large batches for the NDS, and also in this July next month, the one batch of this NTS nursing schools, they completed their final exam, and we are going to recruit them as grade 3 nursing officers in October. So the batch is nearly 2,900, and we can give the certain number of nursing officers the teaching hospital Jaffna also. And we have a problem with the SKs, our health staff. Now we are in the process of recruiting them in the next 2 months. We will give you 45 this health supportive staff as the first stage. Then another 800 will be recruited. By these two steps, we can complete the required cadre for 2,700. That is we approved in 2017. Right? And also, when I go through your requirements, now A&E building, we plan to complete this year. That is, now we have repaired the AC and the supportive services. We can complete it this year. And for the new laboratory, that is top of the JICA building, that will be cost nearly 600 million. Now we include it into the PIP this year, and we will start the procurement January 2027. Right, we will start that program or the project also. And CT scan, as Secretary said, CT scan will be provided next year. Yes, but you basically concern about the constructions, the cadre, and the staff recruitment. So step by step, you know, we faced a very severe crisis regarding this cadre. The problem is, other than SKS appointments, we have to train them and appoint. It takes time, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We have to take time. Anyway now for all the cadres, now we are in a process to recruit them and train them. And I think I suggest you to have the management committee meeting regularly, and I ask you to send your report to the ministry. Then we can review them. I don't know if we can send the relevant DDG to head this management committee meeting. So you can solve your most of the problems within your premises, right? Otherwise, I think it's not nice to take all your problems to the ministry and solve by us. Anyway, we are in a process to uplift the health system, expedite the constructions and expedite the recruitment, as well giving the new equipment required. So with the collaboration of all these efforts, I think we can step by step uplift our health system and rendering a good service to the people. And once again, thank you very much for your work. I know with severe hardships, you are doing a very good job. I honor you as the Minister of Health, and I expect your collaboration and your coordinated effort to uplift our health system to service the people of northern area as well as the whole island. Thank you.
யாழ்ப்பாணம் போதனா வைத்தியசாலைக்கு நேற்று விஜயம் செய்த சுகாதாரம் மற்றும் வெகுஜன ஊடக அமைச்சர் வைத்தியர் நலிந்த ஜெயதிஷ் வைத்தியசாலைகளின் குறை நிறைகளை கேட்டறிந்து கொண்டார். இதன்போது வைத்திய நிபுணர்கள் மற்றும் நிர்வாகிகளுடன் கலந்துரையாடலிலும் ஈடுபட்டார். இதன்போது வைத்தியசாலை விவகாரங்கள் தொடர்பாக வைத்திய நிபுணர்களால் குற்றச்சாட்டுகளும் முன்வைக்கப்பட்டது. அத்துடன் யாழ்ப்பாணம் போதனா வைத்தியசாலை பணிப்பாளர் தொடர்பாகவும் விமர்சனங்கள் முன்வைக்கப்பட்டது.